may sunog. Trabuco. Mm. because we need to make sure that we protect these antennas up here, these important new transmission. I mean, KL has their own antenna up here. Whenever we're flying into Orange County, this is what we will be connected to. Of course, we remember the Bobcat fire several years ago that severely threatened Mount Wilson and the multi-day stand that firefighters had to make on that fire to make sure that the observatory didn't burn and that none of those transmission antennas caught fire either. So we may be in for a repeat of a situation like that. We'll be monitoring that MD-80. They're coming back around here to the north. They're going to probably have to do a couple of passes before they make their drop here because they want to make sure, obviously, that they're going to maximize every ounce of that FOS check and place it in the perfect area for maximum effect. So we see them come here, but it can still take them some time before they decide where they're going to be dropping. Airtime will be guiding them in for that drop. But we've got towering smoke and some towering flames here out of control off of Trabuco Creek, guys. This is just really awful to see, especially in the midst, like Mike was saying. We now have major fires burning in all three counties, LA, San Bernardino, and Orange County. And this one absolutely out of control.
Indeed, Desmond Watson is here, joining Amy Johnson, Mike Rogers, and Desmond Shaw up on SkyCal, watching all of these massive fires burn here, as Desmond was saying, in 3 different counties. And it's hard to ignore when you look at this picture. Again, Amy mentioned it just a short time ago. That billowing smoke is going nowhere. Look, just underneath that smoke, the fire rages on and continues to grow. And Mike, something that when you were showing the map earlier, I noticed just the amount of air resources out there right now. It seems to be very quick, very aggressive this time. We're not waiting for someone to show up. They've shown up.
Right, yeah, they're here. I mean, there is no doubt that they are throwing anything they can get at this fire. That includes the MD-80, the smaller tankers, helicopters, which have a couple of different intel, they're called intel ships that can really map the fire and help make really strategic decisions about where they're going to do these drops and what kind is needed. So there is certainly a lot of CAL FIRE resources here as well. My colleague Maya behind me, we're actually checking on that new C-130 Hercules to see if that's going to come down to not only this fire, but really any of the fires that are burning. So we'll let you know about that. But again, we're stretched thin here, they're stretched thin up north. There are tons of resources. There's a huge fire in the Reno, Nevada area that a lot of resources are at fighting. It is just not a good time for these fires to be happening.
And again, the weather that we're experiencing, I was hearing earlier this morning, our Paul Diana was talking about just this heat field that's sitting over us, basically keeping those cooler ocean breezes away from us. And again, they won't be coming in until tomorrow. That definitely is going to help the temperatures, keeping us cooler and helping with the threat of fire, obviously, but we're still hours away from that. And usually at this hour now, the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, it seems to be like that's when the daily heat, the high temperature of the day really cranks up. We almost feel, you think, oh, it's getting later into the afternoon, but in fact, we feel that heat just crank up just a little more. So just imagine being a firefighter out there on the ground and just someone in the area there just trying to hope that this fire doesn't overcome their home or get close to their area. Mike, here's that tanker you're about.
Yeah, there's that DC-10. We're going to let this, watch this do this drop. They're going to have a very impressive drop. Of course, the larger the aircraft, the more ability they have to hold the retardant. Des, I want to ask you really quick, we're just getting word about some new evacuations on Leander Lane, which appears to be kind of one of those subdivisions. I'd like to get eyes on that if we can and just kind of see. I believe it's going to be up to your right by those water tankers, a little further north. Yeah, right kind of in that area. So this is that area. I'm a little surprised they have Leander Lane right there. I am a little surprised that they added that to the evacuation list. Although, look, here you see lots of sheriff's vehicles in there affecting those evacuations. These decisions are all based on really science when we get down to it. Kind of what the fire behavior they think is going to be. If there's any kind of danger, it's possible that they're issuing these evacuations because they are right up against the hillside there. There's not really any kind of buffer between the hillside and these homes. But we definitely see the Orange County Sheriff Department affecting those evacuations right now. And again, those are supposed to be mandatory evacuations in that area. So obviously, Sheriff's Department looks like they're there. I'm also listening on the radio, continuing to request more and more resources. I just heard last quarter, 5 more strike forces.
Also, when the fire breaks out early in the afternoon like this, you still have a lot of people that are off to work, who are staying home from school. This is really a critical time because a lot of people are gone, but their kids are at home, or their kids are getting off the school bus, they're heading home, and a lot of those parents are at work. So It's very important. I don't know, Mike, I know you just mentioned the Neander Lane, but can you perhaps mention the other streets that have been evacuated?
Yeah, absolutely. It's in the control room. If we can come back to my computer, I've got them kind of up on the map here where we can show you Cook's Corner. That's where the bar is. That was that terrible tragedy happened. That's under evacuation.
Shit.
Chirico Creek
Next thing,
Road, Chirico Canyon Road, Chirico Oaks Drive, Joplin, and Rose Canyon, and it's all kind of basically along this hillside and up. So all of this kind of area is what's under evacuation, and that's where the fire, as we've been seeing, has been burning. The fire has been kind of up in this area here. Now it's burning up into the mountains, but all of these, this area, this is all under concern. And then Meander Lane down here is the one that we just kind of were talking about, where they've got those new evacuations, and we just saw the sheriff's department doing that. So all of these areas on the map here are where they are concerned. Luckily, as we've been kind of watching from this picture here, things are kind of moving away from those homes. So hopefully it stays like that. And really quickly, guys, I want to just give you another update on acreage. This is coming from CAL FIRE. CAL FIRE has one of their mapping aircraft above it, and they are now mapping this at 670 acres.
Wow.
So in the course of about an hour, we have now gone from 7 to 292 to 670 acres.
Adios.
From the air. This is not a CAL FIRE incident, but they are aircraft, and certainly technologies. It's called an Intel ship that is above.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck trying to get this fire under control there. You can really see that nice, clean line of fire retardant that's been laid out there just on the side. And look how it's just basically keeping the flames from crossing into that area. And Mike, you were mentioning Meander Lane. The only good news about that is perhaps the fire would have to burn downhill, right, to get to Meander Lane, because it's a lot slower burning downhill. So you give people at least a little time to figure out what to do, and these firefighters a little more time to extinguish the flames, right?
Yeah, I think at this point, and I'm certainly not a firefighter, but I would say at this
Yeah,
point,
back to work.